Hello everyone once again, and welcome to another episode of Inside IUE Sports. I'm your host Caleb Gillock, and today we're going to talk a little bit about volleyball first, and joining me to do so is volleyball player Mallory Livingston. Mallory, thanks for joining me today.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Well, let's talk a little bit about this season. Finished the season 20-13. Just tell us a little bit about how the season went for you.
We kind of had a roller coaster year. We were pretty young. I was the only junior, and we had no seniors, so we had a pretty young team. So when we had really high highs and we had some pretty low lows. So overall, I mean, we had the winning record, but I mean, there's always games you want to go back and redo. But I mean, we learned from them, and we're just looking to move on now and have a better year.
What were some of the bigger games that occurred this season?
Well, probably the biggest game of the year was definitely Point Park. Everybody that went to that game knew that was probably our best game. Everybody said that was probably the best they'd seen us play together. They were the number one team in the conference at the time, and we were undefeated. We were probably ranked fourth or so at the time, so obviously we were the underdogs, and we came in, it was a home game. We had a really good crowd, and they've always been kind of a personal rival for me, because our freshman year, my freshman year, I guess, I was the only one. My freshman year, it was between us and them for the conference championship because we were both undefeated. And so we ended up taking it. So it's always been a really personal one for me. So I was really happy to win that one. We went into 5, and the crowd was just crazy that game. I think it really, the momentum, if that home court advantage, like really pulled through for us. That was definitely my favorite game of the year.
Looking back on the season, what was one thing that you think the team needed to work on to make it further in the postseason?
I think it's just our consistency. That's mostly everything. I think that just comes with time and experience. Some games, like, it was better. We had a more spread out offense, and that helps really mix up the defense on their side because they don't know where we're going because we had more people on. But just being consistent was our main problem. So we'll work on that some more.
Well, of course, you had a great season yourself. You had your 1,000th kill, which happened. You also had 1,000 kills in high school. What's it like to reach that milestone twice?
It was really exciting. In high school, actually, my coach never told me how close I was. He refused to. He's like, I don't want you to know. And then we were playing Franklin Monroe. I remember this game, and I had like, I don't even know, it was like the first 5 points of the game, and he like stopped for a timeout, and I was like, we're winning 5-0, like, why are you taking timeout? And he was like, you just got your 1,000th kill, and it was really exciting, so I had no idea. I knew this one in college. I went into the game, and I was like, they're like, you only need 4 more, so every single one were like 3 more, 2 more, so it was really exciting. So we were counting down for that one, so that one was a little more expected, but it was exciting.
Well, aside from your 1,000th kill, you've also had lots of other awards this season. One of those was winning the NAIA Scholar Athlete Award. Tell us about that.
School, I mean, you always come in and you say student athlete, so like school is really important to me, especially like I'm in the NAIA, like I came here because I really want to focus on school first. I don't want volleyball to be my job. I want to focus on school, so it's really important to me to keep my grades up. I'm kind of a perfectionist, a little OCD, and so when it comes to my schooling, so I'm really just trying to keep up with my 4.0 right now and see if I can finish school with that and then also focus on volleyball at the same time. I don't know, it's a balancing act.
Right, I completely understand that one as well. Also, you were named the Kayak Conference Player of the Year. Tell us about that one. That
was kind of unexpected for me. I was hoping, I thought like I was a good contestant for it, but we were ranked 5th at the end of the season, and almost always they give it to either the number 1 or the number 2 team in the conference, someone off there. So I was a little surprised when they announced it there, but I was really, really excited, and especially now since the coaches thought I deserved it, even though we were ranked 5th. So that was even more gratifying.
And a third award was the AVCA Northeast Region Player of the Year, which I understand only 8 players get. What exactly is that award, and what did it mean to you?
So we're the Northeast region, yeah. And last year, I think I made third team or something. So really, I was just looking to move up a team or two and try to get first team. So I didn't expect to get player of the year in that. That was just like icing on the cake. So I was just kind of hoping to move up, and just do better every year. Every year, I just want to do better. So I reached my goal there. So I was happy.
Right. Well, and just moments ago, we figured out that you were named an All-American. What's that one mean to you? That's a big accomplishment.
That was my goal this year. We had to make goals at the beginning of the season, and my very first goal is I really want All-American. And there's been a lot of All-Americans that have come through here. Our volleyball program is pretty well known. In the past, we had some really great players, so I just really wanted to keep that right. Like legacy, I guess, that name. I just wanted to put my name up on that banner. So that was my overall my individual goal. I mean, obviously I had other team goals, but as an individual, that's what I've been striving for all 4 years. And I'm excited to tell my mom. She doesn't know yet because we just found out. So she'll freak out. She'll probably start crying because she's all emotional like that one.
Well, congratulations on that. What does it mean to you to have accomplished so much this past season?
It really, I don't really know how to, I've just been working really hard, and this whole last 3 years has been a really kind of a rough, rocky road. We've kind of had some craziness happen here at IUE. So to be able to stick with it, really, I'm kind of pretty proud of myself to stick with it, and then to come out on top and just keep doing better. So I'm just proud of myself for getting better every year. So.
Well, congratulations on all of those awards. Of course, this year you were the only junior on the team. There were no seniors. You had 6 freshmen and 4 sophomores. What was it like to have to be the leader of the team this past season?
In the spring is when I knew I'm going to be the only junior. I knew I was going to be the only upperclassman unless we got transfer in, but that didn't happen. So I kind of put my mindset to it early. I went home for the summer and I got myself mentally prepared. I knew I was going to have to be a leader this year. And one of the main things I really wanted to focus on was being as consistent as possible, because you always need, with a young team, like I said earlier, there's always going to be inconsistencies because they need more experience. So I really needed to be that leader this year that they could go to if we needed a point, we really needed a kill, we needed to get out of a rut. I really wanted to be that player. So that was my mindset, being the upperclassman here.
And what are you looking forward to the most next season in your senior year?
I really just want to go all out. I mean, it's my last year, so I just don't want any excuses. We're just going to work hard, and I really, really want to have a good team that, the main thing is that I really just want to have fun while we're out there. And I mean, winning's always fun too, but I just want to have a good, well-rounded team that enjoys being together.
Definitely. All right, well, thank you for joining me, and congratulations on all of your awards, especially just being named an All-American a few minutes ago. We'll be right back with more Inside IUE Sports.
This is where a busy mom can work toward a bachelor's degree from a top national university during softball practice. It's where a service member can continue his college studies from anywhere in the world, and where you'll benefit from one of the country's most effectively delivered online programs.
Woohoo!
So, if you've ever wondered if a college education is really worth it, this is where you'll see that it is. This is Indiana University East Online.
And welcome back to Inside IUE Sports. I'm your host, Caleb Gillock. Now joining me to talk about cross country and just how they manage making it through college is Kyle Hall and Alexis Brasier. Tell us a little bit about the NAIA Scholar Athlete Award that you both received. Kyle, we'll start with you this time.
Yeah, pretty much the award goes out to, you have to have a very high GPA, and it's awarded to you have to be a junior in academic status, and it's awarded to juniors and seniors for all of the sports. And for me and Alexis, it's something that we both received this year, which is awesome. Mm-hmm. The best thing I like about it is that it builds. It's something that you have to start from coming in as a freshman, and every semester you have to stay up so that you keep that cumulative GPA. And for that reason, I think it's one of the most prestigious awards at IUE you can get here.
Right. What does it mean to you, Alexis?
It means so much to me because in high school, I mean, I was a decent student, but I was a high schooler, you know, we don't really take it seriously. But then once I got into college and I was here for track and cross country, it was kind of like, I can shoot for all conference as a runner, or I can do the next best thing, which honestly, I'm more proud that I did this award than if I were to be an all conference runner. And that's the academic all scholar. And every semester since my freshman year, I've been so set. I need to get this GPA. I need to get the best grades I can, and I've worked as hard as I could, and I mean, it's paid off, so.
Now, how do they go about selecting the recipients of the award? Is it something you have to apply for, or does the school enter it for you, or how does that work, Kyle?
Well, the school, I believe, enters it for you. Which is awesome. The thing about IU East is that they're always really good about making sure that if you're eligible for an award, they make sure to get you submitted for it. GPA, I believe the requirement is, I think it's 3.5.
3.5 or above is then you're nominated.
Yeah, and then they do the selection process based on strictly academics, and then if you're selected, then they publish the list. And then another good thing about IU East is that once they get the list, they make sure to let you know quickly. Yeah, we knew immediately once we received it, so it was awesome.
All right, well, congratulations to both of you guys on earning that award. Let's talk a little bit about how you manage everything in college. Of course, both of your seasons are in the fall and spring. And with that in school, how do you manage it all? Alexis, we'll start with you.
It gets difficult at times, but thankfully we have a coach who is very academic strong. Like, academics always come first before anything else. And so that's helped a lot too, is because having that in the back of my mind, it's like, that's what I think about every single day when I wake up is, okay, what do I need to do today for school? And then I plan out my week, I plan out my month, pretty much like my whole semester too. And so Brett's really helped out with that. Being organized definitely has made things a lot easier.
How about you, Kyle?
Well, it's tough because not only do we have school and track and cross country, we also both work.
Right.
And so really, I mean, you have to just plan everything in advance. When I sat down to make my classes for the semester, it took me 5 or 6 hours. Just because I got to figure out what hours I can work in to go to work, what hours I can work in for classes and practices. And that's probably the difficult thing about sport like cross country, when you do cross country and track, is because you have your competitive seasons at the beginning and end of the year, so you get both semesters where you're competing. So there's kind of really no off season. And so I download as many like organizational apps as I can to make sure my days are planned out. Online classes have been really helpful because I'm able to take that class online. That really frees up my schedule because then I can work on the homework whenever I have the time to. Also, I work at the police department as a police cadet at IU East, and they've been super flexible. And the team's been really good about, if you can't make it to practice because of academics, academics always comes first. They're never going to punish you for missing a practice if you have something you have to do. So that's kind of how everybody working with me has been the only way I've been able to survive it.
Now, you mentioned taking an online class. From some people here on campus, I've heard that they're often more difficult, but in your case, has it been easier for you?
Well, in my personal case, yeah, I think definitely the thing about online classes is it requires a higher degree of you have to be aware of yourself and how you can work, and your organization has to be on point. If you're not a very organized person and you need somebody to kind of guide you on your structure, probably online classes are something you want to avoid. For me personally, I've always been somebody that's kind of been really organized on my own, and so I can, even on online classes, the advantage is you can kind of get ahead on your week's work. You don't have to wait for the professor to really hand it out because it's all right there. And so my preference is online classes because I'm a little bit better organized than probably some other folks that would be having a hard time with it.
Now, aside from cross country and school, you guys are also engaged. Tell us a little bit about that.
You can go ahead.
Kyle's pretty much awesome. And no, he's a hard worker, and he really keeps me on I don't know. He makes me better. Like, I would not be running and working and school if he didn't keep me motivated. It's because, like he said, it's extra difficult doing all of that at one time, but he does a really good job at just keeping me motivated, and he's a big help.
For me, when we first started, we actually not only did we go to school together and we were on both teams together, But we also work together. So I almost spent like every single moment of my life with Alexis. And after doing that for a little while and realized that, it didn't bug me or anything, I was like, all right, maybe I could spend the rest of my life with this woman. And so now that I got that out of the way, and we're really looking forward to the wedding. Everything is going to be coming up this summer, and it'll be nice to get that next stage of our life going, and I'm excited for it, and I hope she is too.
How did you propose?
Well, it was last year at the conference meet. When I was a freshman, I went through the experience, and I'd kind of seen how everything was laid out. And at the end, if you win an event, they'll give you the medals, and they do it in front of everybody, and it's a really big forum, a good opportunity to do it in front of a lot of people. And I knew always that I wanted to propose in kind of a big way, because Alexis would always show me videos of people proposing, and they were always really big and fancy, and she was always talking about how much she liked it. So I knew I wanted to do something, pretty big. And so I brought the ring with me to the conference meet, and I was seated third in the 800, and then we were seated second in the 4x4, so we weren't really seated to win anything. But I said, if I win an event and I get a medal and everything, I can use that opportunity to propose. So I kind of used it as some motivation, which was a little bit selfish, but I was able to win the 800, and then we won the 4x4 also. And so then at the awards area, when they were giving out the medals, I used that opportunity. Everybody was pumped up there. Everybody was all around and excited and emotional. I used the opportunity to propose to her. And she was a little bit nervous, and it showed a little bit. But
Nervous? No, I was so happy. I just didn't process what was going on at first.
But she said yes, so it was good.
Well, congratulations on both your awards and your engagement. We'll be right back with more Inside IUE Sports.
Dylan Newman had a terrible dislocated shoulder after a bad dirt bike accident. The long-term solution, surgery and intense rehab.
I trusted Reed Orthopedics because they had already fixed my ankle. And within 4 months of my surgery, Dr. Miller and my Reed therapist, April, helped me to regain my motion and most of my strength. Thanks to Reed Ortho, I can get back to what I love. It's all about trust. Right, Dr. Miller?
Right here at Reed.
Right here in Richmond.
And welcome back to Inside IUE Sports. It's time for Wolf Smack. Wolf Smack is where I'll ask each of our guests a question, they will answer it, and I'll pick the winner. The winner gets 30 seconds of face time to promote whatever they would like. Joining me for Wolf Smack is Mallory Livingston, Kyle Hall, and Alexis Brasier. The question today is, what was the best academic advice you have ever received? Alexis, we'll start with you.
Oh, academic advice. I don't know. Study. Actually, I think the best advice that I was given was to make sure academics always come first, but to always remember you're a student too. We're still young, not to take everything too seriously, just because we have a lot of time to grow up still. So.
Right. How about you, Kyle?
Well, when I was in high school, we were assigned a lot of 5-page papers. That was kind of the normal average of the paper, and they had you write an outline, but it wasn't really anything super serious. I would usually just, scribble something down to turn in. When I got to college, I was told by one of my professors, they really emphasized outlines, and at first I didn't really take that super seriously, but I soon realized when you start getting into 8-page, 10-page, 12-page papers, outlines are crucial. So I guess the best advice I ever received was write an outline before you write a paper.
All right, how about you, Mallory?
I would have to say that basically when it just comes to academics in general, just make sure you pursue what you really want to do with your life, if it's something you really love. So, and don't just pick something for the money or whatever. So.
All right, well, after thinking about it here for a second, organization, as you guys all know, is a crucial part to college. I've learned that a lot this past semester in my freshman year. So, Kyle, we'll go with you on your organization of the outline. So you get 30 seconds to promote whatever you'd like.
Well, I guess for my 30 seconds, I just want to thank somebody who's been a really important influence on my life academically, and that's my mom. I remember in elementary school we would have spelling tests, and all through the week she would go out of her way to help me study for hours, and so I just want to say thank you, Mom, for everything you've done to help me academically.
All right, well, thank you guys for joining me for Wolf Smack. We'll be right back with more Inside IUE Sports. And welcome back to Inside IUE Sports. I'm your host, Caleb Gillock. The women's basketball team picked up their first ever home win in their inaugural season on November 11th during homecoming with a 92-72 win over Wilberforce. Let's take a look at the highlights.
Miller with the ball out on top, looking for someone open, passes over to the corner to Campbell. Campbell puts up a three. This one's good.
That's a big early bucket for the Red Wolves. I know they struggled from beyond the three-point line in the early games, but getting an early one there is big.
King with the steal. She brings it down towards the basket and lays this one in, and the Red Wolves jump out with a 5-0 lead.
Red Wolves need to attempt to avoid foul trouble early. They don't want to be giving up free throws early in the first half during the bonus.
There's Miller underneath the basket, stops and puts this one in. Inside to Niehoff. Niehoff not open, kicks it back out to Campbell, shoots another three. She's now 2 for 3 from three-point range.
I've always been a big stickler when it comes to free throws. I mean, that's something you can practice in the gym on your own time. Those are free points. That's why they're called free throws.
Nation A. Corley with the ball out on top. Now it's over in the right corner. And a nice pass there underneath, and Miller's going to get the basket. Here's Mackenzie Bowles out on top for the Red Wolves. Passes off over to the corner to King, who puts up a three-pointer. This one's good for Tia King.
Very nice
and
job.
Stolen away by King.
I think the Red Wolves could take advantage of that. What they've been doing is just getting out and run. It's going to cause fatigue for the Bulldogs, and Red Wolves are going to have to find a way to stop that with their height disadvantage.
And down underneath, wide open is Miller. It's going to roll around and fall in. Here's Schaefer. She brings the ball down the floor. Tia King kind of blocking for her. Here's Schaefer. She puts up a three, and this one goes in.
That's why I'm not a basketball player, though. That's why I'm up here. I'm not the type of guy that's going to get physical like that. I'm just going to run away when things happen like that.
She's only shot three-pointers tonight, 1 for 3, and a nice block there by Boyd. This one's going to not get tied up. She's going to give it to Tia King, who charges hard down the floor, and that's going to be and one for Tia King.
So we'll call it a lane violation, but honestly, I don't know.
Stolen away by Boyd. She's going to lay it in left-handed, and that makes it 45-36. There's Mackenzie Campbell, brings the ball up the floor. She's going to lay one in right-handed, and it's good. Inside to Campbell, she's going to put one up from just inside the free throw line. Campbell fakes and comes inside a little more. This one's going to drop around on the rim and fall in.
The Red Bulls attacking the middle of the zone again. Unselfish.
Nice pass inside to Campbell. Out top to Dryman. Dryman drives the lane, kicks it out to Campbell. Campbell puts up a three. This three-pointer by Tia King. Here's Schaefer underneath the basket. That was good for Schaefer. Inside the Bulls. Kicks out to King. King puts up a three-pointer, and this one's good for Tia King. 61-54. Bailey Dryman inbounding the ball for the Red Wolves. Inbounds to Daisha Boyd. And fine snap, and that's going to be a basket for the Red Wolves.
That's a big play there, kind of going right at him. That's a big play there, kind of going right at him.
And in the corner to Knepp. Knepp drives the lane, puts one up. It's in the middle of the lane.
They're making this team move, and a couple of pump fakes here and there get the defense off their feet and open up the more holes.
And the ball is now inbounded. Mackenzie Campbell puts one up, and this one's in.
I say just the Red Wolves, they look a little like they're going a little faster. It turned out to be a good basket there.
And a three-point attempt out top by Dobbins. Dobbins with another three-pointer. And that's going to make it 92-72. The Red Wolves will pick up their first ever home win, and now are 500 on the season.
And there you have it, the first ever win at home for the Red Wolves basketball team, the women's team. We'll be right back with more Inside IUE Sports.
I'm Dr. Ganesh Ramachandran, the region's only hand specialist at Reed Orthopedic Center. Patients love how easy it is having everything under one roof and how easy it is to get here. Right here at Reed Orthopedic Center, right here in Richmond.
Welcome back to Inside IUE Sports. I'm your host, Caleb Gillock, and that sound you just heard, that means that it is time for Wolf Center. Wolf Center is where we take a look back at last week's IU East results and ahead to next week's schedule. You can download the Wolf House sound you just heard by downloading the IU East Athletics app for free at Google Play or the App Store. Now let's take a look back at last week's results. On December 2nd, the women's basketball team defeated Holy Cross 95-84. Mackenzie Campbell had 20 points for the Red Wolves. On December 3rd, the IU East men's basketball team beat Great Lakes 95-63. Lucas Huffman scored 10 points for the Red Wolves. On December 6th, the women's basketball team won at home 85-58 against Carlo. Kerrigan Niehoff had 6 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 assists. Also on December 6th, the men's basketball team also beat Carlo 90-76. Parker Salinas scored 18 points and had 5 rebounds off the bench. On December 13th, the IU East women's basketball team will be in McKenzie, Tennessee at Bessel. Tip-off will be at 3 p.m. on IUERedWolves.com. On December 16th, the women's basketball team will play Taylor at home. Tip-off will be at 6 p.m. in the Tiernan Center, and that game will be on WETV and at IUERedWolves.com. And on December 18th, the women's basketball team will play NCAA Division II opponent Central State at 7 p.m. in Wilberforce, Ohio. That concludes this week's episode of Inside IUE Sports. I'm your host, Caleb Gillock. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.